I don't see anybody talking about this, which surprises me. When Benjamin Netanyahu won his victory in Israel, I listen to a wide variety of podcasts, and I read a lot of different newspapers, including Haaretz, the only major progressive newspaper that's published in Israel, and occasionally a Jerusalem Post, which is sort of the conservative publication and nationwide newspaper in Israel. And the consensus seemed to be that Netanyahu, when he was defeated in the election before last, or maybe it was two before last, was politically toast, that he was politically dead. I mean, they were writing Netanyahu obituary the same way that they're writing Donald Trump's political obituary. From what I have read, the commentators that I have listened to and read, and friends of mine who live in Israel, my understanding, and again, if your understanding is different than this, or you know something I don't know, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and what you think in general is going to be the impact of an arrest and prosecution of Donald Trump. But what I'm hearing is that Netanyahu really was politically toast. But his being prosecuted for corruption, Netanyahu is accused of taking bribes. The largest charges against him are still relatively minor crimes compared to what Donald Trump has been accused of. He's been accused of taking, cigars was the most minor thing, of taking, mostly gifts from rich people who are helping out his campaigns and who wanted things from him in the government that he gave to them. But he's been basically accused of taking bribes. Netanyahu's response to that was essentially, the Israeli deep state is out to get me. And there's a fairly broad, I won't say consensus, but a fairly broad opinion held among political commentators across Israel that it was the prosecution of Netanyahu that invigorated his followers and his base enough to show up and vote for his party and put him back into office in Israel. Now, if this is true, this very much falls into the be careful what you wish for category. And so, something that we should all be taking very seriously and thinking about is, if Donald Trump is prosecuted, will that actually revive his political prospects? I'm of the opinion that it will. I realize that the consensus or the conventional wisdom in America is that if he's prosecuted, he's politically toast, and that's really going to hurt him. I think it's the actual the other way around. And Israel, the politics of Israel are in many ways very similar to that of the United States. Here, it's immigration and black people and brown people. There, it's Palestinians and Arabs within the Israeli government, within the Knesset and things like that. But basically, race plays a huge role. And the right is largely all about race, here too.